So, we're going to go down to the feature match area. We have Marc Raschella again and Andrew Scroggs. Green Red Tron versus Dredge. I'm not sure who won game one. I'll be able to tell you that here in a second. And it looks like Dredge won. So, game one. So as we go into game two, obviously Mark's going to bring in all of his relics of Progenitus. There's an Ancient Stirrings. Tim's going to gain a life. Or Andrew's going to gain a life, not Tim. Andrew is Tim's brother. And there's a Platinum Angel. Okay, that's kind of cool. Not quite what I expected to see in this matchup.
I don't know if he mainboards that or not in his deck.
I think that's a sideboard option for this particular matchup. As you see, we're still here in round 3 of 4. The players have 30 minutes roughly on their timer. So, as we get into this, Andrew has a draw 2, discard 2 here from his Faithless Looting that he's getting into. We're not exactly sure what he's going to discard. Looks like
he's got a Prize Amalgam in there. Looks like a Cathartic Reunion.
He's just going to discard two
Prize
Prize
Amalgams. Well,
okay. So he doesn't want to discard a Dredger with it.
Does he have a Dredger to discard?
He had a Life in the Loam.
Oh.
But maybe he just wants to hold on to that. So Mark is being very generous here with his Grove of the Burn Bellows. Like, yeah, sure, to have some life. There's a Grafdigger's Cage. So that could be potentially really big here.
Looks like that's what he took.
That's exactly what he took. He's going to play this other Grove. Is he going to give him another life? No? Okay. Grafdigger's Cage. Go. All right. I'm going to draw my card. So now, Andrew has to be on this very weird plan of he has to try to draw some cards to try to find his answers. So, to try to find the answers to disrupt the Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, so it looks like he's going to fetch and shock here. So it's 1920. I believe this is going to be a Cathartic Reunion coming from Andrew to go ahead and try to find his Nature's Claim, try to find his Ancient Grudge, to try to get rid of this Grafdigger's Cage, which shuts off Andrew's deck completely. So,
yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how many Mark is playing this weekend. Probably 1, maybe 2.
For the cage?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a Nature's Claim. So he had the Nature's Claim. So Mark's going to gain 4 life off of that. So it's 24 to 19. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what you need.
So he gets
a
tower down.
So he's got some stars. He's got some spheres. Expedition map. Looks like he's just going to try to find his way to Tron. Hard way.
What else are you going to do when you're a Tron player?
Right. So he's going to now discard 2 and draw 3. Now, there you go. So, with the first draw, he's going to replace that draw step with a Life from the Loam Dredge. So he's going to dredge 3. Doesn't hit a Dredger.
Gets another Blood Gas.
2 and 3. However, he does have a land drop, so he will get the trigger. He's Bloodghast. Bloodghast will come back. They do not have haste because Mark is at a lovely 24. Trigger the Prized Amalgams. I'm going to crack my land. Go to 18. Here comes a basic mountain. This basic mountain may turn into a Faithless Looting. Faithless Looting will then draw 2, discard 2, more than likely the Life from the Loam, and one other.
Dredge doing Dredge things.
He'll probably discard a Prized Amalgam and the Life from the Loam. If he hasn't. Oh, no, so this is an Insolent Neonate. So he's going, oh, it is? Okay, so he did have another Faithless Looting. He's going to draw 2, discard 2.
Oh, doesn't get the Narco Amoeba now.
So now he's going to discard a Prized Amalgam and a Life from the Loam. End his turn. These 2 things. This triggers the other Prized Amalgam that will come back at the end of Mark's turn. if Andrew remembers his trigger. Now, Andrew has a lot of power on board. Not sure exactly what Marc can do about this in this particular match, in this particular game.
Yeah, he got off to a bit of the rough start with just having a few Groves and no Tron pieces.
Right, so
Now
here's
he's
the
got
power plan
Now he's got the power plan.
that he fetched out with the expedition map.
Looks like he's got another expedition map in hand.
It does look like he does. So he's just reminding him, hey, I did have this trigger at the end of your... This comes back at the end of your turn because these 2 prized amalgams came back. There's a lot of triggers in this deck.
Dredge can get very overwhelming if you don't know how Dredge works and
Right.
you're trying to keep up.
So from what I've noticed with Dredge and prized amalgam, like the prized amalgam is probably what was the glue that this deck was missing for such a long time.
Yeah.
Because after they unbanned Grave Troll the first time, and then they brought this in, like it just... Sure, you're playing, you're trying to be a cheap imitation of the Legacy version.
Right.
With Bridge from Below and...
Yeah, oh man, Bridge from
Below,
what a fun card.
But the issue is that you don't get Dread Return.
Right.
And Dread Return does so much that this deck would love to have access to, but, it can't do it. It just doesn't have the access to it that, some of these other decks can. And as you're seeing here, prized amalgam just is steamrolling. Like, he's got, 13 power on board.
Yeah. I mean, it's 3/3's pretty decent.
There's the Neonate.
Big, and you're getting it back for free.
So, Neonate's going to discard the Life from Loam. He's then going to dredge the Life from Loam. He discards a...
It's like a thug
a Faithless Looting, and a Wooded Foothills. There's a Wooded Foothills. That's going to trigger this Bloodghast. He's going to flash back the Faithless Looting after he fetches. So you have to fetch. Go to 18. So, we have that happening. Next thing up in response. Warping Wheel. Counter. Okay. So you encounter the Faithless Looting. Pretty strong play there. May have caught Andrew off guard a little bit. Probably didn't think about Warping Wheel being able to counter.
Right, yeah.
It's probably the least often used mode of that card.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? It counters it...
+3, -3, or I believe -3, -3 to a creature, and then makes a 0/1 Scion token.
Is it the -2? Doesn't
Or
it
a 1/1
exile like a...
It may be exile. It may be a creature
with like toughness 1 or less or power 1 or less or something
that
like
may be what it is actually. 3.
Well, let me look it up.
13. So this is going to bring him down to 20 to 12, I believe. I may be wrong on my math here. 3, 6, 9.
It's 13, so it'll bring down to 11.
Oh, yep. Okay,
Yeah.
I was off by 1.
Yeah, it is exile a creature with power or toughness 1 or less, counter a sorcery spell, or create a Scion.
Yeah, so the Tron needs Ugin or O-Stone here to try to win this game.
Yeah. Well, Tron needs...
He has the other piece of land. He has the other Tron piece in the
okay,
land.
I didn't see that part.
He used the Sylvan Scrying earlier to find it. Tron is online.
We'll see what he has.
3 mana. Oblivion
There's
Stone.
the Stone.
So, O-Stone is there. So you probably just dredge here. Nope, you're just going to draw?
Well,
I think I'd probably just draw here, right? Like,
no, he's going to dredge.
I would draw here, though, personally.
Oh, what's he?
Okay, so...
There we go. So he
Because
does
if you
dredge.
hit any of the other pieces here, like... The O-Stone doesn't even really do much, though, right? So...
I mean, he's going to blast everything back
Yep.
into the graveyard.
So you go to attacks here because you have lethal. Right? That's fine. And then everything's going to go to the graveyard. Then you have to set up your triggers for your next turn. So if you have a land in hand, this is probably where I would draw. I probably would have dredged the Dakamore salvage if I didn't have a land in hand.
Yeah.
Or he does
might.
have a life from Loam in his hand. So this way he sets up lethal for the next turn.
Right.
So he sees lethal. I have lethal. I'm going to blow this up, kill all your guys. Okay, all my guys are now in my graveyard. They should be graveyard, not exile. There we go. Okay. It wasn't Ugin. It was just... Alright, so from here...
Does he just drop the... Does he have a land? Does he just drop the land? And no, it doesn't look like he has one. He's got a Narc Amoeba.
So he's going to
got the life from the land. Okay.
So I'm going to target 3 lands. I'm going to target the Swamp, this Copperline Gorge, and a Mountain. Okay. So Life from Loam goes to the graveyard. He's going to play one of these 3 lands. Probably the Mountain. Okay. Or the Swamp. That's fine. So. Now he's going to flashback this other Faithless Looting? Or he's going to cast a Conflagrate. Okay. From this Conflagrate, he's going to discard his hand to deal that damage. 3, 4, 5. 5 upstairs. Bring you to 6. Now, this allows him to have lethal again. Does he find another?
He really needs Ugin at this point
to
exile the creature to get him out of there. He
there's another
O-Stone. Well, he's buying time until he finds an Ugin.
Right, so like... So here's another O-Stone. We're going to have... It's just a time walk. That's all that happened.
It's basically going to be the same interaction.
So he's going to pay 1 mana. And so he's going to drop the star. So when he blows up the O-Stone, that he gets to draw a card off of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, where's my Life from Loam? I'm going to dredge back Life from Loam. This brings back a Narc Amoeba. Alright. I'm going to cast Life from Loam to put 3 lands in my hand.
Man, what was Wizards of the Coast thinking when they
they said that this was okay?
Ran.
Alright, so he's going to cast 3 mana. He's going to flashback. He's going to flashback Faithless Looting.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, Magic has a love-hate relationship with the concept of using your graveyard as a resource. Players love it because it's super powerful.
Right. It wasn't that big prevalent like when I first started playing Magic.
Yeah.
Granted, I've been playing Magic for, I don't know, 10, 20 years at least. Almost.
I don't know when you start playing.
Mirage?
Oh, that's a while back.
So, almost 20 years, maybe like 17 or 18, something like that. A very long time ago is what it feels like. So
yeah, they're gonna be celebrating their
25-year anniversary
next year, I believe, in 2018.
So yeah, I mean, I've been playing Magic for a long time, and graveyards weren't really this big.
Right.
Yeah, sure, you had Reoccurring Nightmare, you had Living Death.
Yeah. I mean, for a long time, graveyard recursion of any kind was restricted mostly to black or white.
Right.
And it was very limited, really basic in what you could do.
Yeah, I mean, you had Entomb, you had Reanimate, like...
Yeah.
There's always been, like, a Reanimator-style deck, I guess.
Right.
But Dredge, unfortunately, wasn't really a thing. And, you know, when I played, tap-out control was huge. And there's the handshake.
There's a scoop.
He couldn't find another O-Stone or the Ugin. We figured that's about what was going to happen there. Platinum Angel, also. But if Andrew had a Ancient Grudge in his graveyard, well, that didn't matter either.
Yeah.
So, we're going to bring that back up here to the top. That's going to do it for round 3. We've got one more round left. We're going to try to find something spicy. I've got